First of all, I'd like to welcome y'all to Hit the Deck. This is your host, DJ Marvelous, and this is Hit the Deck Media. Welcome to my platform, my man Zeg. And before we get going on what Zeg is the smartest dude in the hood, man.
Go ahead, man.
I always say that about this guy, man, because
Stop it.
And I'm gonna tell you why, and as we get this thing rolling a little further, but it's my pleasure to have this young man in the building, man. And
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. And to kind of talk about some intellectual things that sometimes in the entertainment business, they don't get said enough. Because all of us are not ignorant. All of us are not stupid. All of us are
Far from it.
Yeah, all of us are not just knuckleheads just roaming the streets, man. So it's some intellectual things going on that things need to be talked about, man.
It does.
So this is going to be a very informal conversation. We're just going to chop it up a little bit. He don't drink, so
nope.
So
and he won't let me smoke in here, so
yeah, you got that right. I got a security clearance. Yeah, man. So first of all, man, how do you feel about this upcoming situation where they're gonna legalize your drug of choice?
About time.
Yeah,
I mean,
no doubt. But elaborate.
what I mean by that is I feel like alcohol is far more dangerous and effective to the community than marijuana. And if you look back on the history of it, it was made illegal for racist reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about it. How come we call it marijuana?
I don't know the answer to that.
Because we connected it to the scary brown people. That's why
Is this a fact, or is this a fact, or is this?
Look it up. That's why we call it marijuana.
Okay.
That's the Spanish term for it. We used to call it reefer.
Yeah.
You know, it was reefer madness.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But now it's categorized as marijuana.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Reefer madness?
You ever seen Reefer
Yeah,
Madness?
I looked at it.
It's kind of comical, right?
It's funny.
Yeah.
But when you think about why it was made and the effect that it had,
it's a heavy propaganda tool, man.
it's a propaganda tool. And like you say, they just made it illegal to scare the brown people. Mm-hmm. And then they connected it to, this scary black man's going crazy, playing this crazy music. You know what I mean? And that's...
I think in the movie, it had I think it kind of inserted. It was basically swing music at the time. You know what I'm saying? Which is like that generation's hip hop. Mm-hmm. That generation's trap music, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that's a fascinating thing. And the reason, and I'm gonna say this before we go too far, man. Me and this guy right here, right? I've been DJing. I've seen all these young guys grow up in music and all of that, playing music. Man, this guy used to be at the club, and I was still in the Army, so I come to the club. I have my uniform on when I get to the club, and I change into my clothes that I would DJ in. But while we sitting there kind of getting ready, man, me and this dude used to be at the club talking about China, Syria, anything
but,
Libya,
I remember,
North Korea.
I used to look forward to it.
Yeah, man.
I really did.
I just thought that that's why I always call you the smartest man in the hood, right? Because a lot of times in my travels, man, unless I'm doing it in a professional environment, I don't talk to people about stuff like that.
Right.
And I assume you probably don't have many people to talk about that thing with either.
I don't.
Those type of things.
And it's not, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something different about me, but I also feel like there's people like me and you out there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe they just want to fit in. Me, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, there's something in me I want you to know this about me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, expression.
Yeah.
This is what I want you to know. Mm-hmm. So,
but you don't strike me as one of those people who are just sitting around just spouting information just so everybody can think,
I don't.
Look how cool this guy is.
No, I don't. I'm very quiet in that sense, but if it's something that I need to say, I'll say it.
Yeah.
Like they say, fools speak because they have to say something. Mm-hmm. Wise men speak because they have something to say.
That's real. That's real.
So I'm not that type of person that'll be the star of the party. Mm-hmm. out the jump. Now, you get me comfortable in the setting.
Yeah.
Then I'll lighten up and you can see that mood.
That's our culture, though, man. That's really what our culture is. Our culture is not all of the craziness, the crazy stereotypical things
It's
about
not.
us. The culture is about, like, in early hip hop. When I was a kid, we listened to thought-provoking, conscious hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
But we also party too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a lane for it.
Because all of that is our culture.
Yes.
Your culture is a combination of things that make you who you are as a people. And all that stuff is imperative that we nurture all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing wrong. It's nothing embarrassing about our music. It's nothing embarrassing about our culture, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we wear our clothes. Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. I seen that from an early age.
Yeah.
Like, I even had this thought recently. Like, you'll hear a black dude with a country twang, you might think he's stupid.
Yeah.
But that same person to say he's stupid will look at Larry the Cable Guy and won't think the same.
Yeah, he's right.
Even though he has the thick ass accent as well.
They got the same upbringing.
Got the same one.
Yeah.
It's that subconscious thing that from an early age I noticed. And I think now, 2020 made conspiracy theorists of us all.
Yeah.
To where we thinking this is happening. And now you can't tell anybody that it's not.
Yeah.
That is not true.
Yeah.
No
matter what it is.
Because they can look it up and see information where somebody will say it's true. Mm-hmm. They can look up somewhere and somebody will agree with them.
Mm-hmm. So all they need is one person.
All they need is one.
Like, let me ask you a question, right? Did you see all the hoopla about Glenn Close, the actress Glenn Close, this lady from, have you heard of the movie Fatal Attraction?
Yeah, I know Glenn Close.
Yeah, so Glenn Close, it was probably staged, right? So they Questlove is the DJ. They don't have an orchestra this year. They had a DJ. So Questlove played the butt, and they had like a question, like a I don't know what they call it, like a little contest when they was going around asking the guests about Academy Award questions about music. Mm-hmm. So they played the butt, and they asked Glenn Close was the butt and Spike Lee in School Days did it get an Academy Award, right? So she said no. So then she goes into this whole conversation about EU, backyard, yeah, DMV. She used all of these terms, right? Mm-hmm. Now look, right? Yeah, it's probably staged, right? Because it was, and then she got up and did the butt. Look, Zeg, I'm telling you, man.
I saw it. I ain't click on the link.
It was so authentic looking, but it's people on the Go-Go Report that's wilding out about it. Because I guess somebody wrote an article about she's being the savior she's being a hero for Go-Go. Now, that is going too far.
Yes.
That is going too far.
Yes.
But it's a funny, cool type of event. Questlove probably had something to do with it and fed some of this information to him.
True that.
And it's a joke, man.
Yeah.
All of this stuff is not a conspiracy.
Nah, it's not. Nah. My thoughts on that is they're just showing love.
Yeah.
And it's a nice shout out to the
and she wasn't disrespectful at all.
Nah. I didn't think she was disrespectful.
And when you see it, you'll see what I mean.
My thoughts, it's kind of weird because I kind of want Go-Go to be big, but not too big. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying.
And my fear of that is if it gets too big, then there'll be an artist that does it, and then there'll be some kids in Russia who think he started it.
It happens
and they don't know nothing about DC Go-Go. Mm-hmm. They just know this artist that they love did the sound.
Yeah.
So now, unbeknownst to them, that's just, unwillful ignorance. Mm-hmm. Like, they ain't do nothing wrong. They just didn't hear anything before this artist did it. Yeah. So now they think they did it. It's kind of like Elvis. Mm-hmm. You know?
And a lot of the conspiracy theories is that Elvis was a racist and Elvis did this, that, and other. Mm. But from what I've researched, right, supposedly all of those things are not really true.
Yeah, I don't think he was racist.
I think it's some of his handlers or people around him probably had nefarious reasons for trying to co-opt our music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, I think what happened with Elvis is what happens in a lot of America is this: you see a white person do the black thing, and they like it better when the white person does it.
Yeah.
But even though Elvis was doing the same exact things, it's kind of like the term R&B.
Right.
That in and of itself came from racism.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because black people was making rock and roll music.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they had to differentiate between that. So they called it rhythm and blues, even though it was roll music. Now, R&B today, that will probably be called soul music back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now they got neo soul.
Neo soul and all that.
Right? So,
but back in the day, it was rock and roll and soul.
Yeah.
But then they was like, well, these black people that's making rock and roll music, they call that race music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then at some point they said, we can't call that race music anymore. We're going to call it rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
And that's how the term R&B came about. Straight up.
And unfortunately, words matter, man. You know what I'm saying? Words mean stuff. Yeah. So what happens is, unfortunately, as good as Eminem can rap, as bad as even though he makes terrible records, boy can rap.
He can rap his ass off.
But he makes a lot of bad music. And you know what? I'm not going to go there tonight, but he makes a lot of bad music.
Look, the only reason he's up there at the top is because two things. If he did not get the black audience's respect, the white audience would not respect him.
I agree.
Right? Mm-hmm. And two, he got up there because he's white.
And three, he got up there because Dr. Dre.
Dre, yes.
Well, there's two more things. And Jimmy Iovine.
Interscope Records.
And Interscope Records.
Interscope Records.
You know what I'm saying? It's a machine.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a machine.
They
But if he was whack, he wouldn't have got there.
Garbage, he would have been Vanilla Ice.
Our community wouldn't have let him rise that far.
Right.
Because he was whack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The black community would not have let him get to that top because he was whack.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve it.
Right.
So he got our blessings, and white people was like, he's cool? Is this one cool? Black people was like, yeah, he cool. He's like, all right, he's the one.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
I don't know if you ever saw the cipher when he was on the cipher with Black Thought and Mos Def. Now, if Eminem rap like that all the time, if Eminem rap like he rapped on the remix to Dead Wrong with Biggie, after
I remember that. I was just listening to that.
See, if he did that, you would never hear me say nothing. Or if he rapped like he rapped in 8 Mile, I would never have nothing to say bad about that kid.
That's true.
Because the dude is nasty, man.
Yeah, he nasty. But the other shit, what he's doing, he's catering to the other side.
Yeah.
And that's something I usually hate, but I can't say it because on his account, because he did it from the beginning.
Yeah.
What I don't like is if when artists build their career on a certain sound that placate to this audience audience raises them to this status, all of a sudden this other audience embraces him, and now he changes the music to placate to this audience.
Yep.
When it was this audience that brought you up here.
Agreed.
And I'm like, why are you changing it? Because this is the music that brought you up here. So this audience will love it anyway.
I agree.
Because quiet is kept. White America still goes to the black side of town to see what's cool. That's why they're always a couple years late.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how Miley Cyrus is the twerk queen. And we're like, we did that in the 90s. How y'all on that now? Y'all just getting on that?
And she's cornball, man. She's a cornball.
She can sing, though. She's talented there.
No. She can sing, but she should never, ever make another one of them records with all of her, one of them trap records.
With Juicy J and I ain't like that.
That was corny, man.
It's culture vulture. Yeah. That's the definition of culture vulture. Yeah. Because you immerse yourself so hard into this, and I get it. You from Memphis, they from Memphis, whatever. But then you do a complete 180 on it. Like, then you just manipulate. Yeah,
you from Memphis, but you ain't from the side of Memphis that they from.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
you Billy Ray Cyrus.
They did it, all of them. Justin Timberlake, Gwen Stefani, Miley. They all do it when they jump off into their own solo thing. They always go into hip hop.
Well, let me tell you this though, brother. Since we there, right? And I'm sure you're not saying this, but It's got to be said because when people are ignorant, they only hear one part of the conversation. Mm-hmm. Just because they white don't mean they whack. No. And just because they're white don't mean they're faking it.
Right? No, Eminem not faking it.
Right. No, not at all.
He keeps
it not at all
because you can tell he ain't never switched up on it. And you can who's that dude? Paul Wall ain't faking it.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
Even that dude, I don't even like him. Michael Rappaport is not faking it. That's how he acts.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's how he is.
Yeah,
you understand?
Okay, let's close to home. Gut ain't faking.
Gut ain't faking it. That's how Gut is.
Yeah.
Whether no one's around or not, that's how he is. That's how he talks. That's how he walks.
And you know what, man? It's funny because Gut, when I first met him, right, I had talked to him on the phone several times, right? He, that dude's a hustler, right? So he's trying to book gigs, and he saw my name on a flyer. He called me trying to get on the show or whatever. So I went to Front Royal or somewhere out that way, out west, to see him, right? And they was doing a show. And I said, man, I'm looking for Gut, man. He said, it's me. That's me. He said, you ain't think I was a white dude or something, man? I said, hell no, I ain't think you was a white guy, man. Man, look, man. And I could go into a lot of detail, man. But that's my guy, man. I love that dude.
I remember Gut.
Yeah, good dude, man.
I met him maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, not a phony individual at all, man. Mm-mm. Real good guy, man.
I was gonna say you can tell.
Even though he ain't come, he's supposed to come and get interviewed. He ain't show up. I hope he hear this too.
He called you out. He called you out.
He ain't never come, man. He ain't called me either.
Shame.
I'm gonna have to put hands on Gut when I see him, man.
Shame, Gut. Shame.
So what's going on? What else going on in the world, man? We need to talk about, man.
Whatever you want to talk. You talk about Biden.
Yeah, okay.
His ass.
Well,
we could talk about how.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm a government employee, and I'm a retired Army officer.
You ain't gotta say nothing.
And so, but at the same time, you know how. Okay, let's go back.
We can go back to the other dude. It don't matter. We can go to January.
No. I'm gonna do it this way. You know how? Remember when Ice Cube came out with his contract? Was it was Ice Cube the one with the contract?
Yeah, contract Black America. Mm-hmm.
How the White House played him. Mm-hmm. They played him, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of what Cube was saying is not totally bad.
Nah, he wasn't wrong.
But this is the problem I had with Ice Cube, right? Ice Cube has been a conscious rapper since the beginning. Even when they were saying all the while, he didn't participate in a lot of the craziness that a lot of the after he left NWA,
right?
They were making records that was totally off the reservation. It was
all that stuff he was making with Public Enemy,
Burn Hollywood, Burn, all this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. He was real conscientious, thought provoking, thoughtful.
That America's Most Wanted, Death Certificate type, yeah.
So this is my real problem, man. Drum roll. Cube had to know that they were gonna play him like that. He had to know who he was dealing with.
Yeah, that's
disappointing to me.
I get that, but he's also like, man, they're in power, and maybe he thought they was gonna win again.
Yeah, but still, regardless of all that,
I knew. Yeah,
you had to know how they was gonna do you.
He had to know.
You got the platform. You got the megaphone, Cube. You hold the cards, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they played them.
Yeah, but anyway, what was it? Just a meeting? That's what he did? Gave him?
Nah, I don't think the meeting. I don't think
he didn't give him that.
Well, put it this way: you can't really. I guess you can't really say. You can't really blame him per se just for the meeting because he said he was going to meet with both sides. Right?
Yeah,
right.
He's going to meet with both.
The issue I had was Q. You let him play you out of position, though, man. Mm-hmm. It made it seem like you was
down with them
and against us.
Yes, photo op.
You see what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying. Okay, I got you on that one. Yeah. I got you on that one. Good. Quiet as kept, man. The last 4 or 5 years were very tumultuous. Like
it ain't quiet as kept.
Like it's very stressful into the sense of where it got more PC not politically correct, but in the sense of if you say something over here, then you are automatically aligned with this side. And if you say something over here, you are automatically aligned with that side. And I got to be honest with you, there are some things you can say where you are automatically over there, and I don't want to hear anything else you got to say. Because there are just things that are too glaring, too evident now that I just can't ignore. Like, okay, I understand, okay, Asians were getting discriminated because of Donald Trump and his rhetoric, to be honest. But that happened. Tragic. That happened for maybe a year. We've been dealing with this. But they just signed into law anti-Asian discrimination bill. I'm down with that. That's great. Can we get something for black people?
Yeah.
Can the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill pass? Are you serious?
Yeah.
You can't. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not telling them to not pass the anti-Asian bill. I'm telling them to pass ours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grant us that mercy too. Give us that too. See us as human as well. You understand what I'm saying?
Let me ask you then.
I don't like it. It's like when Stop Asian Hate was trending.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anybody say stop all hate in response.
So I already know what you're gonna say to my next question. Then I already know I'm a thinking man, right? So I know that Black Lives Matter as a slogan, and we don't need to get in right now to the inner workings of the
I haven't even clicked on the website once.
Me either.
It doesn't mean anything to me any more than the NAACP.
Right.
But I support the NAACP.
Right. But the concept of Black Lives Matter should not be a derogatory term.
It shouldn't.
To normal thinking people.
It shouldn't. Look, just ask yourself if you are Army vet.
Right.
If Colin Kaepernick took a knee and said he won't stand until we as a country treat Army veterans with the respect and reverence that they deserve, would he be? Because he would be a hero. It's because of, it's not because, so that means it's not what he did, it's why he did it. Is the reason he became this evil person in America.
Madness, man. It's madness.
You understand? So if he took a knee for anything other than black people, would America be so mad at him?
Stressful situation, man.
I don't think they would.
Because I think people, have you watched you got HBO?
Yeah. Well, the HBO Max.
Have you watched
Semi-trash.
Well, okay.
We'll get on that.
It might be trash, but
Semi. I said semi.
Let me ask you, have you watched Exterminate All the Brutes?
I have. I got to the second part maybe about a week ago, so I'm gonna finish this. When I give them here, you inspire me to finish it.
That is the definitive documentary on how people can lay silent and watch George Floyd get murdered on TV and not feel something about that man.
Oh, it's because, I mean, it's the same way you can write all men are created equal and know damn well you're not mentioning these people in mind. It's because you have to see them as not human, or at least less human than you.
Yeah, that's the thesis of the whole documentary, which is
exterminate all the brutes.
Yeah,
brutes. Who gets to say who's the brutes?
Right.
The people with the guns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and the people with the pen,
with the power,
with the pen, with the power, with the all
they
that.
get to do it. But you know what I think is happening now? Because I see the change. I feel a bit of a change, and the change that I seen was, I guess the perfect example is NASCAR removing the Confederate flags and telling all its fans you can stop watching if you don't like it.
That's
because that.
That
cut right into their fan base. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
And their bottom line.
And their bottom line. And they said, we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care anymore. And then all of these other Kellogg's, Cornflakes said, Black Lives Matter. When all these companies said Black Lives Matter and did not fear the repercussions of white people stopping buying their stuff, that is when I knew things changed. Mm-hmm. And I think did that? Nike. When Nike back Colin and everybody was burning them, and then people looked and said, I think they bought them again after they burned them.
Yeah.
I think they bought them again. Because now what I think happens is if you're really like that, if you are really, really like that, and what do you got left to watch? What do you got left to drink? What do you got left to eat?
No NASCAR, no
sports. Football,
no
baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, NASCAR. All of them said Black Lives Matter in some form of capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really about that, stop watching all of it.
Right.
Stop playing Call of Duty. Stop playing Xbox. Stop playing PlayStation.
Why Call of Duty?
Call of Duty put in, like, when you load it up, it had Black Lives Matter.
Really?
Like, yeah, it put it in
my
there.
My kids do that stuff, man. I don't play none of that stuff, but I got to research that. Okay.
Yeah. Like, when you loading up the game, it put it on there.
You said Call of Duty and what else?
Like, ain't like Sprite. What are you going to eat? What are you going to drink? What, you going to sit there, eat Chick-fil-A and watch My Pillow commercials on a loop?
Yeah.
And Tucker Carlson or something? That's all you can do?
Yeah. So my thing, right? We already know, man. We don't want to destroy anybody, man. We don't want to hurt anybody, man. We just want to be treated like equals, man.
I want the stuff you promised.
Yeah.
That's it. You shouldn't have promised it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have promised it. Shouldn't have wrote that shit down. That's what it says right here. All men created equal.
Yeah.
That's what it said. You shouldn't have written it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have written it. Straight up. Yeah. And I don't think that's what it is. We're not asking for anything but equality.
You ain't asking for extra.
I don't want extra. I don't.
I can work for the extra.
I don't. When I see like these white people lunching in front of the cops, I'm not asking you to shoot them like us. I'm asking you not to shoot us.
Yeah.
Like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking. That's all we asking. And at this point, man, I'm like, nah, that's not enough. That's not too much to ask. I'm not being unreasonable.
Have you been following? I think you said something about it. I can't keep track, man, because actually, it's only a couple people I actually really watch on social media, and I believe you said something about. Did you say something about the Fredericksburg?
Yeah.
So for the people, man, explain if you remember what happened with that.
All right. As far as I can, the story is there's a man whose car broke down on Route 3.
Mm-hmm. What was he down in Fredericksburg area or?
I think he was closer. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Closer back towards Orange.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the sheriff deputy, I guess, pulled over, see what's going on, and he wound up giving him a ride home. Mm-hmm. So he gave the man a ride home. When he got home, he had an altercation with his brother. Mm-hmm. That same man called the 911. The same sheriff came back. And I don't know what happened there, but he wound up shooting that man 10 times.
10 times, I saw that.
In his own yard. Now, they'll say the 911 dispatch was saying he was going to kill his brother. But he's like, get him out of here. He's going to kill him. But I'm thinking like, why would he say that to you? What did he say? So that's what they're saying, the reason why he shot him 10 times. But that man, I think he's going to live.
Yeah,
I think he's going to live.
Yeah.
So we'll tell us the story.
We'll find out.
Because the thing I don't like about is there are a lot of people that just because it's a cop saying it, that they'll believe that's the truth. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. And I don't like that. Because if you read the Minnesota Police Department report on how George Floyd died,
yeah. So it was
you would not, nah. You read it, it looked like they just showed up and then they watched him have an allergic reaction.
Yeah, they said he had a medical emergency. I think that's what they called it.
When you read it, it would seem as if they just stood there and watched him like have an allergic reaction. Mm-hmm. Nah, man. And if there was nothing on tape, a lot of people in this country would have believed what they said just because it was them saying it.
Well, like they say, man, they said, thank God for the young lady who had the camera. Mm-hmm. And the foresight to just record the whole situation, and get it on tape. Because if it was no tape,
they would have believed the report. They would have believed the report, and
it wouldn't even have been an issue.
No,
no. Unfortunately,
yeah. And you think about it now, you see that piece of shit get his, but then like 5 other people right after that got shot.
there's some people who actually try to justify. I have friends that I go into school with, man. When I hear this kind of stuff, it disgusts me.
I don't like it.
They try to say stuff like, well, the situation has forced the cops to just shelter in place and not do anything. Well, if that's how you operate in your profession, your ass needs to go.
You got to go.
Let me tell you something, homeboy. See, for the people who don't understand, Zeg is real serious about what he believes and all that. but Zeg knows that I was a soldier. But I was a good soldier. And I'm telling you, man, this is not the Vietnam era, and I'm not trying to say nothing negative about the Vietnam era, but they did have some atrocities that happened in Vietnam, and it's been documented. And those dudes went to prison.
Yes,
but I never committed any atrocities. I never committed any human rights
violations
or anything like that. So my conscience is very clear.
Yeah,
nobody was hurt by nothing I did. And I'll be honest with you, if something happened, somebody had it coming. And I'm gonna tell you, that's my word.
Right.
So I noticed, right? You were very adamant about what you believe, and you don't strike me as the type of person who has an ill feeling or ill will towards me. And I think a lot of people, man, they think because you want to hold these motherfuckers responsible, that somehow you trying to take the power away from the police.
Nah.
Now, I'm trying to take the power away from the bad police.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you what happens in the military, in the U.S. military.
I was getting ready to say it.
In the U.S. military, when you do some shit like that, they deal with your ass.
I was getting ready to tell you.
That's why it doesn't happen.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
It don't happen.
I'm trying to hold the police accountable to the same standard we hold U.S. soldiers. And what I mean by that is, if you're a U.S. soldier in a war zone, and you see a person with a gun, if they drop it in front of you, you can't shoot them. You can't shoot them.
You're going to get convicted of a war crime, man.
For real. You will get convicted of a war crime. They can have the gun in their hand. I think it's the point, if they don't shoot it, you can't shoot them.
It's rules of engagement, and it varies. But bottom line, basically, you're right.
Right, but like if they drop that gun, you can't shoot them.
Yeah, man. And I mean, why? I mean, to be honest with you, and I say this all the time, Zig, when you allow, it's just like this. Say if, for God forbid, say you was a murderer, right? You my friend. I know you a murderer. You go out and kill somebody. And I don't give about none of that non-snitching shit because that's all a misnomer anyway. But you kill somebody in Culpeper. Right? You kill somebody I know in Culpeper. And I don't say nothing. And somebody else gets picked up for murder. I am complicit in that person's murder because I know who did it. And the murderer, you, is still walking around here, man.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to do it again. So, again, in the U.S. military, when you do shit like that, they deal with you. And it nips it in the bud, man. And it becomes a non-problem.
I think they're going to get with they're getting rid of the immunity, whatever they call it. Qualified immunity. Yeah. That is going to.
But they're going to get rid of it in some places. But you see, the whole country is not not one way or the other. So
it's like, okay, I think it's more human in the sense of if any behavior that you don't feel the repercussions of, you're going to continue that behavior until you feel the repercussions.
That's the only way change happens, man.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like anything, you can forgive and all that a million times. They're not going to stop until you let them feel the consequences of their act.